So, in case you missed it, here in Virginia, we had a bit of a snowstorm. And I'm over in Williamsburg. We got about like 6, 7 inches. But my governor did a press conference in preparation of said snowstorm. And he was asked some pretty direct questions about the fact that the federal government, of which 140,000 federal government employees reside in Virginia, how does Youngkin feel about it? And it was really interesting because while simultaneously promising to help federal workers with state funding, by the way, he was defending the job cuts. There was a great little montage that was done. I'm just going to play it for you real quick.
First of all, anxiety from many Virginians over the concerns about their employment with the federal government is
Understandable.
ask the media to not inflame this workforce, which is talented and deep and experienced. This process that the federal government is going through is one that is needed because of the inefficiency and bloat of the federal government. Is a real fear that people have about losing their jobs. We don't need to concern people with those types of issues.
So I've got to ask Governor Youngkin, which is it exactly? Is the media inflaming fear, or, as you stated, are these people rightfully concerned about losing their jobs? Also worth noting, are these people deeply talented and experienced, or are they just a product of inefficiency and bloat in the federal government? See, it's strange to me that in this press conference, you spent the last half of it talking out of both sides of your face. Okay. It's also worth noting that one of your own signature achievements, a computer science laboratory high school in Richmond, has now been touched by the cuts with cancellation of a federal grant for Virginia Commonwealth University teacher residency program that has worked with the high school. He also said that he's going to communicate his aid for these workers in a package. It'll be a good one for you. And his press secretary, Christian Martinez, said he would work to get a timetable on said package. Now, interesting enough, this morning, he was honored to be appointed by President Donald Trump as co-chair of the Council of Governors. He's literally in the last 11 months of his 4-year term. And it's ironic to me that as he supports the destabilization of Virginia's workforce, Virginia's economy, Virginia's future, quite honestly, while also touting that he's going to use state funding, state taxpayer dollars to offset these federal employees that have lost their jobs that reside in Virginia. Okay. He has his entire Republican Party at the state level raging on the internet about no tax on tips being shot down by Democrats. Where do you think this money is going to come from to pay for these federal workers? Mind you, a plan that he hasn't even presented, let alone got budget approval for. Now, I need you to understand this is the same governor that did everything in his power to look like he had nothing to do with Trump in 2021 as he made his run for governor. And then this past year, fully campaigned and supported Trump, knowing that everything he had on his agenda, all of the plans that he laid out, in fact, plans that Youngkin recently said.
Well, first of all, let me just begin with the fact that what President Trump is doing, he told everybody ahead of time. And there's nothing that he's doing that should be a surprise to folks.
He is telling you that he knew that everything Trump was going to propose was going to directly harm Virginians, harm our economy, harm our workforce, harm our security. Not to mention the fact that he hasn't even discussed that if the, again, Medicaid expansion is rolled back at 1% at the federal level, overnight 630,000 Virginians, 168,000 of them that live in Southwest Virginia, where they're currently raging about an Appalachian power bill, while ignoring the fact that thousands of their citizens could lose health insurance under this administration. He supported this. His LG supported this. His AG supported this. And his entire Virginia Republican Party supports this. In fact, they just paid money for an ad about tax breaks and Democrats not supporting that. While he's telling you he's going to spend your tax dollars offsetting Trump's firing. Are you paying attention? Because elections are this November in Virginia.